been given the distinct honor and privilege to recognize our third recipient for the 2023 the Deeds Not Words Award, Mark Manges. Since Mark came back into town in Janie in around 2007, I've been privileged to serve on multiple committees with Mark. And as Ellen said, he's always been a leader. And when you do go to a meeting, you have a very specific agenda, you follow the agenda, and then you're out of there. So, being respectful of everyone's time. I will have to say that as many of you, I'm sure, are aware, Mark was on the cover of Sports Illustrated in the mid-'70s. And one of the first things I did when I learned that Mark was on a committee that I was on, I brought in my copy of the Sports Illustrated, and Mark graciously signed it. And it said, "Go Terps, Mark Manges." So thank you very much. But as you know, we're aware, Mark has been instrumental in multiple committees here at Fort Hill High School. And I, again, have been privileged to serve on those. Obviously, he is chair of the We Are Fort Hill Committee. And I also sit on with him with the Greenway Avenue Committee. And he does a phenomenal job with that committee. Greg is also a member there. And, if you look at the stadium today and you heard the sound system last night, that's a tremendous improvement. And Mark and that committee has been very, very instrumental in working with Principal Cannon to make certain that Greenway Avenue Stadium continues to be the absolute best high school venue in the state of Maryland. I know, too, that Mark is very involved with Melvin Methodist Church, and I think some of his fellow parishioners from Melvin are here today. So it's not just at Fort Hill. He's involved throughout the community. So with that being said, Mark Manges.
It's easy to be chairman of committees. What you do is you surround yourself with very good people and you let them be themselves. And that's it. Well, I'm very happy to be involved in everything. So thank you, George, for that very gracious introduction. I grew up not talking about myself very much. I always let my accomplishments and achievements speak for me. Plus, I was the youngest of three with two older sisters. And I learned very fast, many times it's best to just keep your mouth shut. So that's what I did. But today, I guess I'm supposed to talk about myself. I guess I was the epitome of the Deeds Not Words award, and that was from a very young age. But I'm supposed to talk about myself, so here goes. And we will deal with the 800-pound gorilla in the cafeteria. It was going to be in the courtyard, but now we're here. So, as many of you know, for the past 5.5 years, I've been fighting cancer. It started in April of 2018, where a spot in my chest mushroomed into 5 tumors in my brain. A large one behind my left ear, 2 in the cerebellum region, 2 small ones in the front. Well, in May of 2018, I underwent a 7.5-hour surgery at Johns Hopkins. And he took out the large one behind my left ear and the 2 in the cerebellum. Cyber ray radiation took care of the 2 in the front. They all were successful, which led my sister, Robin, to make sure that I knew that I now have the empty brain she remembers growing up with. It continues to persist. So, that's something that we will take care of as we go. Now, I'm not an overly religious guy, but I do pray to the Lord. And when your mortality hits you in the face, you turn to the Lord. And, I prayed to the Lord. Of course, I said, thy will be done. I'm in your hands. But I've got things to do. So please give me the opportunity to do it. So far he's been listening. He always listens. So far he's been granted. Now your priorities change when you get this situation hits you. I don't scream at the TV set anymore during athletic events. No matter how many stupid referees make ridiculous calls. I'm still a passionate rooter. I root for Fort Hill, University of Maryland, the Orioles, the Ravens. But when the game's over, I let it go. Because your priorities change. And you realize that it's just a game, always has been. But now things are so much more important. With my wife, Janie, we've been together going on 35 years. She's been with me every step of the way, especially these last 5 trying years. Thank you so much. My mom, Norma, who is 91, will be 92 in February, who is up at Eagle House, assisted living in Frostburg, in Lonacone. This is what leads to the voice you're hearing. I'm not the deep, rich baritone I used to be. But she enjoys it up there. She is doing well. She's healthy. She still recognizes all the family members. And still from time to time, the Manges or Robinson, her parents, that feistiness comes out. And it's great to see. My sister Vicky is here today with her husband Jack and their kids, Kevin and Matt and Carrie and Carrie's son, Sam, who I beat at cards all the time. To my sister Robin, her husband Jim and their kids, Dave, Dan, and Doug got married to Kate, and they showed up with their little girl, who's 3 months old now? 3 months. Kayla, thank you all for coming.
The goddaughter. Great goddaughter.
Yeah, that's right, you're my godson. So, to my church, Melvin Methodist, who I am the administrative board chairman. And we keep fighting to stay relevant, a small church, but we're doing our best. To Fort Hill, who I stay involved with through the We Are Fort Hill organization. So proud to be a member of that. Plus, let me tell you this about what Ellen said on the World War II memorial. It really helps when your principal, Candy Cannon, is ex-military. Really helps. And thank you, Candy, for everything. Now, Candy, her claim to fame, a couple years ago, she loves me telling this story. We had a golf tournament out of Four Sisters. And she wanted to drive the beer cart because she had done that in previous functions with other organizations. Well, here in one hole, the foursome was held up because a rattlesnake had came onto the cart path and it wouldn't move. It would not move. So Candy rolled up in her cart and she said, "Excuse me, I'll take care of this." Took out a shovel, cut off its head, threw it into the woods, and said, "All right, who wants a beer?" And everybody said, "Yes." To the degree where you have to do stadium committee, which is so important because, as George said, we want to keep that very vibrant. we have done the turf. We put an 8-lane track in. And because we now have a regulation track, Fort Hill will have the West Regional Track Meet this coming spring, 2024, at Greenway. We've done the sound system. We're going to do the lights next year. We'll have LED, fabulous lights. We have great plans. We just need money. So if anybody hits the lotto, please keep Greenway in mind. So these are the priorities now that matter. I thank the Lord for the blessings that He has bestowed upon me. First off, He gave me above average athletic ability. He also gave me physical size. Jeff Crone, my fellow broadcast partner, John Bone, whose student Isaac is here recording this today. John couldn't be here, but we see this all the time in these games. These players, they play with heart. They play with so much ability, but they're 5'9", 5'10", 170, 180. And Greg Hare will tell you, there's no substitute for physical size. So I thank the Lord for that. So that's about it. I will continue to fight. I have good news from time to time. I have setbacks. Nothing serious at this time. Knock on wood. But I will continue to fight this. But today, you have honored me. And I'm so very grateful. God bless you all. Thank you. Now, this is so weird because usually I'd like walk off like, but I'm the MC. So I can't. Well, here, here's Sal.